Okay. Ayan, so hello grade 11. So let's continue our discussion na. Let's go um, on topic agad na. So wala nang patumpik-tumpik pa. Ayan, so let's continue our discussion. So we are already done discussing about the different ways on how we're going to evaluate an artwork. So, na-discuss na natin ano yung meron sa description, ano yung meron sa analyzation, interpretation, and judgment. So right now, we're going to discuss about the evaluating artwork based on organic unity. Okay, so first, define muna natin ano nga ba yung tinatawag nating organic unity. So, what do you think is organic unity? Now, when we say organic unity, so it means that all its parts are necessary to the whole. So, ibig sabihin, yung mga different parts of an artwork, pag pinagsama-sama natin siya, or different elements and principles of arts, if we are going to combine them together, ibig sabihin nun, makakabuo tayo ng tinatawag nating organic unity. No? And the whole would be harmed if any part were removed. So later on, i-discuss natin ano nga ba yung um, mga iba't ibang parts para makabuo tayo ng organic unity. Okay, so here, ayan. So in the art, the three main components that must integrate to achieve this unity are what we call subject, form, and of course, the content. So yan yung tatlong i-discuss natin ngayon when it comes to organic unity. Ayan, so meron tayong subject, we also have the form, and the content. So unahin natin i-discuss ano yung tinatawag nating subject. Mali. Ayan, so organic unity, the interconnected whole. Ayan, so organic unity is the concept that artworks, individual elements, so yung mga parts niya, that fit together perfectly and contribute to the overall meaning and aesthetic impact. Ayan, so makaka-create tayo ng aesthetic impact or yung tinatawag nating visually appealing. No? So it suggests that the artwork is a single, complete entity where nothing feels out of place or unnecessary. So, let's say for example, if you are going to look no, sa isang say for example, visual arts. So, minsan, kapag tumingin tayo sa isang visual arts, mayroon tayong mapapansin at mapapansin. No? So, ibig sabihin nun, kapag meron tayong mga bagay na napapansin, no, ibig sabihin nun, we are actually evaluating. No? Evaluating an artwork. Okay, so makikita natin doon ano nga ba yung mga may mali doon sa tinitignan nating artwork or ito ba ay talagang visually appealing. No? Okay, so that is organic unity. So when an artwork possesses an organic unity, the subject perfectly expressed through the form, which in turn successfully communicates the content or yung tinatawag nating meaning. Okay? So on our later discussions, no, i-discuss natin ano nga ba yung definition ng subject, form, and content. Okay? So we have here the different components of organic unity, no? Para ma-evaluate natin ng tama yung mga artworks or yung mga different creative works na ginagawa ng mga tao or ng ginagawa ng mga artist natin. Okay, so the first one, we have here the what we call subject. So when we say subject, ang pinakatanong natin dito, what is depicted or ano yung nakikita natin? Ano yung nakikita natin sa isang visual art, sa isang literary art, media art, applied art, or traditional art. No? So when we say subject, the subject is the what of the artwork. So the visual focus such as image or idea that the artist has chosen to represent. So let's say for example this one. So we have here an image, no, or an artwork from created by Juan Luna, which is the Spolarium. No? So, kung makikita natin dito, the subject, of course, of this visual art is meron tayong tao. And these people could possibly represent something. No? Pwede siyang merong ma-represent. No? Pero ang tinitignan muna natin dito, yung subject natin. So, ano yung nakikita natin dito sa picture na to? No? So, nakakita tayo ng mga taong parang nakahiga. Ayan, may mga taong nanghihila. Ayan. So, yan yung pwede nating sabihin kapag pinag-uusapan ang subject. And also, pag pinag-uusapan natin ang subject, hindi lang siya group of people. So, pwede din siyang an individual. So, eto, tinitingnan niya yung painting. So, that is what we call subject. Ano pa yung meron sa subject natin? When we say subject in the arts, so, meron tayong pinag-uusapan na representational art, non-representational, and of course, the abstract art. Ayan. So, unahin natin i-discuss ano nga ba ang tinatawag nating representational art. So, when we say representational art, the subject is easily identifiable. So, ibig sabihin, ayan, pag sinabing easily identifiable, ibig sabihin, madali natin siyang nakikita kung ano yung subject, kung ano yung pinupunto nung visual arts, literary, or any art forms na meron tayo. So, may it be in a visual arts, so pwede siyang, ayan, yung example natin kanina, group of people. Pwede din siyang landscape. Pwede siyang still life. And of course, historical events. So, based doon sa mga examples natin, so, ayan. So, balikan natin tong portrait dito ng, or representational arts of group of people. So, kung titignan natin, di ba, they are having different expressions. So, yun yung nakikita ko. Meron silang iba't ibang expression. So, it is a group of people that poses with different faces. Ayan, may mga nakangiti, may mga nakanguso or anything. And pag landscape naman, of course, we are talking about nature. We are talking about environment. Ayan. Pag pinag-usapan naman ng still life, of course, ito yung mga representation of objects, may it be a fruit, a vegetable, or mga bote, yung mga ganyan. And pag sinabi naman nating historical events, so meron siyang pinapakita na nangyari na. Ibig sabihin, it comes from the history. So katulad na example natin dito, we have the execution of Rizal. No? So that is its history. So when we say representational, it means it represents something. No? It represents something. Yan lang naman ang representational. Okay, so I hope wala kayong tanong. Next, we have the non-representational art. So ano nga ba ang non-representational naman? The subject might be a mood, an idea, or color relationship, or a formal element itself. So pag pinag-uusapan ang non-representational art, ibig sabihin nun, it's just a simple use of line, shape, form, colors. So yun lang. So here are the examples of non-representational. So kung titignan natin yung example natin dito ng visual arts, so ang nakita lang natin, it's just a simple color, no? Kulay lang siya. Ayan, may mga kulay siya. May mga iba't ibang line. Pero wala tayong nakikitang face ng tao. Hindi tayo nakakita ng mata. Hindi tayo nakakita ng nature. So that is non-representational. But still, later on, pag-uusapan natin ano nga ba yung pwedeng maging content ng mga gantong art. So, ayan. So, we also have here another example. Ayan. So, it's just a simple circles, lines, colors. Ayan. So, that is non-representational. So, maybe possible, sir, paano natin ma-identify kung ang isang artwork ay non-representational or abstract? So, dito, titignan natin ano nga ba yung difference, big difference between non-representational and abstract. So, the last thing that we should know about subject is yung tinatawag nating abstract art. So, when we say abstract art, it ranges from recognizable but distorted subject to completely non-representational compositions. So, dito sa abstract naman, we can still recognize pwede tayong makarecognize pa rin ng face, a scene, pwede, yung scene ha, scenario, pwede tayong makarecognize ng scenario or anything na marirecognize natin that is actually real, totoo, or nakikita natin siya in real life. So let's say for example this one. We have here The Scream by Edvard Munch and yung famous, very famous favorite natin, yung Starry Night ni Van Gogh. No? So, it's actually an abstract. It's because hindi siya gumamit ng normal lines, hindi siya gumamit ng, yung artist natin dito, hindi sila gumamit ng normal shape of face, yung normal shape of tree, shape of star, or anything. But, still, we can recognize, no? Kasi nga, ang sabi natin ng abstract is recognizable. So, meron pa rin tayong nare-recognize dito na tao. Ayan, nare-recognize pa rin natin that this is actually a sky. This is actually a sea. O, dagat, di ba? O, same as true with the art of Van Gogh. Ito ay puno. Halimbawa, puno yan. Meron tayong nakitang mga bahay, the moon, and the stars. And of course, yung clouds natin. No? So, ibig sabihin, we can still recognize, but it is in abstract form. Naintindihan? Ayan. So, nasa naintindihan ninyo. Ayan. So, also this one is an example of abstract art. Okay? So, I hope wala kayong tanong. Ayan. So, in literary naman, kasi di ba, we are covering the 5 art forms. So, meron tayong visual, literary, media, applied, and the traditional art. So, ano naman ang meron pag pinag-uusapan ang literary under subject? Representational. Pag representational ang literary arts natin, it can tell a clear, simple story about a rain. So, ibig sabihin, pag ganito, halimbawa, the classes are suspended due to heavy rain. So, ibig sabihin, nire-represent niya na walang klase kasi nga maulan. So, yun lang kasimple pag literary arts, representational. It represents, is actually happening on the real world. Pag abstract naman, describing the rain as weeping monster to show sadness. Ito yung gumagamit na tayo ng mga literary devices like yung mga figurative language. So, for example, the trees are dancing. The trees are dancing because it's windy. So, ibig sabihin, still, gumagamit tayo ng mga bagay. No? Gumagamit tayo ng mga bagay na nakikita natin. But, we are actually, we are actually, parang kinoconnect natin siya. No? Sa other thing, like dancing, di ba? Hindi naman talaga sumasayaw ang mga puno. So, it's just actually the people who are dancing. But, we are relating them. So, that is abstract under literary arts. So, how about naman non-representational? So, let's say for example, sa mga nababasa natin, di ba, naglalagay sila ng mga different symbols, like yung mga drawings. So, pwede yun. So, like yung paglalagay ng random blue shapes and commas. So, pwede yun. So, that is non-representational under literary arts. Next one, we have here media arts. So, representational under media arts, of course, filming a real video of a car driving down a road. Ibig sabihin, real life siya. Abstract naman, blurring the camera lens so the car headlights turn into streaks of glowing light. So, pinag-aral naman na natin yung different techniques sa media arts, especially sa photography and filming. No? So, if you're going to blur the cam, yung lens ng camera natin, di ba? Parang magkakaroon ng ibang view. So, ganun yung sa abstract in media arts. And of course, non-representational, showing a screen filled with moving, colorful static. So, ibig sabihin, parang wala siyang buhay. So, it doesn't represent something. Halimbawa, nagpakita lang ako dito ng different colors. So, that is an example of, halimbawa, ganyan. Color red to, halimbawa, red, blue, and green. So that is an example of non-representational under media arts. Ito yung nakikita natin pag natatapos na yung halimbawa palabas ng mga alauna, alas 2, di ba, nagkakaroon ng parang screen na parang multicolored. Yan. So that is non-representational. It doesn't represent something. Okay? So, next one, applied arts. Di ba? Ang dami. So, applied arts, representational, making a ceramic flower pot shaped exactly like an elephant. So, under siya ng pottery. No? Paggawa ng flower pot, na-shape natin exactly katulad ng elephant. Pag abstract naman, o syempre pwede tayong gumamit ng mga curve shape to represent an elephant shape. O, pwede tayong gumamit dito ng mga geometric shape. Like, ang tawag dito, like yung mga square, yung mga ganyan, triangle, rectangle. Yan. And for non-representational naman, making a plain, smooth, gray concrete cube flower pot. So, parang yung simple lang na cube flower pot. Halimbawa, ito lang siya. Ayan. O, ganyan lang itsura niya. So, wala siyang buhay. Unlike dito kasi, we are talking about the shape of elephant and an exact elephant. Okay, so that is in applied arts. Next, the last one, we have here traditional arts. So, under representational ng traditional arts, if we are going to talk about weaving, ayan, syempre, nakakagawa tayo dito ng mga textile portrait like yung mukha ng isang ibon. Di ba? Yung mga may kumot dyan na weaving, na naka-weaving siya, tapos merong mga parang bird, people, person, yan, mga different animals. So that is representational. And tandaan niyo that actually traditional arts, especially on weaving, they are actually more on like representational. Kasi 'di ba sabi natin that in traditional arts, we are talking about the culture. So, yung culture ng ano natin, ng isang community. Next one, we have the abstract under traditional arts. So, weaving a textile using stylized geometric triangles and zigzag. Ayan. So, iniiba nila yung styles. No, instead of just a normal figure of a bird, so gumagamit ulit tayo ng mga geometric triangles and zigzag. So, halimbawa, gusto mong ipakita yung bird under abstract sa isang weaving. So, pwede mong gawin ganyan. Ayan, di ko alam kung bird yan. Say for example, that's bird. Di ba? Ayan, so next one, the third one, non-representational. So, it's all about weaving a simple plaid or strip blanket. So, yan lang yung mga strip blanket, like yung stripe na blanket natin. Ayan, so may kulay dyan. May kulay dyan. So, you see, di ba, whatever art forms that we are talking about, there is still a subject. May it be representational, abstract, or non-representational. Okay, so I hope na naintindihan ninyo. Ayan, so let's move on. So for evaluation question for subject, syempre ito yung mga dapat nating itanong if we are going to evaluate a subject of an art form. So una, is the subject clearly identifiable? Para malaman natin kung ito ba ay representational arts, abstract art, or non-representational. So, tatanungin natin kung identifiable ba siya or hindi. So, kung hindi siya identifiable, ano klase siya ng subject? Is it under abstract or non-representational? Okay, yun. The second one, is the subject appropriate for the artist's intended message or feeling? So, ayan. So, kung yung subject daw ba ay appropriate doon sa intention ng artist, no, yung message na gusto niyang iparating sa kanyang mga viewers. And does the subject motivate the choices made in the artwork's form? Ayan. Kung yung subject daw ba ay connected doon sa piniling art form. Ayan. So, titingnan natin ano nga ba yung art form na tinatawag natin. Okay, so if you don't have any question about the subject, let's move on to the second one, the form. O yung form naman tayo. Pag pinag-uusapan ang form, how is it made? Paano siya ginawa? 'Di ba? Pag sa subject, you're just going to explain ano yung nakikita mo. Pero dito naman sa form, tatanungin mo na ngayon yung sarili mo, paano to ginawa? Now, in visual arts, unahin natin ang visual arts of course. Form is the how of the artwork. It refers to the artwork's physical structure. Saan na yung aking? Ayan. Physical structure, visual organization, and composition. From the word physical structure, paano ginamit or in-apply ni artist ang elements and principles of arts or design. No? Kung halimbawa yung line, gumamit lang ba siya ng simple line or gumamit ba siya ng curved line? Curved line ba yan? Zigzag, curved line. Gumamit ba siya ng zigzag line, horizontal line, mga ganon. Okay, so next tayo. So yun lang naman yung sa forms, kung gaano ka-effective yung paggamit ng ating artist sa different different forms like yung ano natin, yung principles and elements of arts. So art forms under literary arts, of course, we are talking about the structure, organization, language, style, rhythm, and arrangement of ideas. So I believe na-discuss na natin yan during the discussion about the literary arts. So we already done discussing about the structure of an literary piece. No, kung paano natin siya gamitin, isulat. So let's say for example, you're going to plot a structure of a short story, stanza arrangement in a poem and dialogue scenes in a play. So yan. So tinitignan natin paano natin gagamitin yung mga different language. Halimbawa, pag sa poem, 'di ba? Siyempre kapag sa poem ang gagamitin natin, dapat we are going to use mga words that is actually have meaning. Or let's say for example, 'di ba? Home. Instead of using a house, we should use home pag sa poem. Di ba? Pag sinabi kasi nating house, it's a simple structure, establishment, building lang siya. Pero pag home naman, it depicts about, we are talking about the family. We are talking about your parents. Pag pinag-uusapan ng home. So, that is the form under literary arts. Okay. So, sa media arts naman, it's about the arrangement of the images, sound, movement, editing, lighting, and sequencing. So, pwede nating i-apply tong form pag tayo ay mag-edit ng film, ano yung mga different camera shots, no? So, na-discuss na din natin yan. The music, sound effect, transitions, and visual effects. Okay, so applied arts naman, dito tayo sa mga shape, color, design, pattern, material, function. So, yan yung pinakamahalaga sa ating applied arts. It's because, di ba, when we say applied arts, dapat ito ay functional. Ayan, dapat yan ay functional. So, furniture design, fashion, architecture, product packaging, graphic design. And the last one, traditional arts, traditional patterns, materials, techniques, motifs, colors, and craftsmanship. So, example natin dyan, mamaya i-discuss natin tong Inabel weaving, Tinalak weaving, Maranao Okir, pottery, and traditional tattooing. Yan. So, that is form under literary media, applied, and traditional arts. Okay, so kung wala na kayong tanong, pause nyo na lang yung video pag may hindi kayo naintindihan. Ayan. So next one, evaluation question for form. So dito, are the elements of arts used effectively and consistently? Ayan. So tatanungin mo ngayon sarili mo kapag tumingin ka ng isang art form, kung ito ba ay visual, literary, media, or anything, so on and so forth. Kung tatanungin mo sarili mo kung effectively ba siya na nagawa. No? Kung consistent ba yung paggamit niya ng mga different forms. Ayan. To the principles of design, create a sense of harmony, balance, and visual completeness. Ayan. So, titignan mo ngayon kung naka-organize ba. Na-organize ba yung nakikita mo sa isang visual art? Kapag binasa mo ba yung isang literary piece, meron ba siyang balance, meron ba siyang harmony, or kulang-kulang ba siya, hindi ba connected yung halimbawa first stanza sa second stanza? So, yan. Number 3, third question, does the form look like the best possible way to present the subject? Ayan. Ibig sabihin nun, kung yung form ba ay align doon sa subject mo. Siyempre, yun yung titignan natin, no? Pinaka-third question, kung align ba yung form doon sa subject na pinapakita ng isang visual arts, literary, or anything. different arts natin. Ayan, so that is form under organic unity. So I hope na naintindihan ninyo. The last one, we have here yung tinatawag nating content. Ayan, ito na yung pinaka-last. No, so meron tayong tinatawag na content. So pag sa content naman, tatanungin natin yung sarili natin, ano nga ba yung meaning nitong creative work na to? Ano ba yung meaning niyan? So, ibig sabihin, tatanungin mo na yung sarili mo ngayon. Magkakaroon ka na ng deeper evaluation, not just simply describing, not just simply analyzing ano yung nakikita natin. No? So, the third one, we have here the content. So, content is the why of the artwork. Bakit ginawa yung artwork na to? Bakit ganito yung nafe-feel ko habang tinitignan ko yung artwork na to? Habang binabasa ko yung artwork na to? Habang ginagamit ko yung artwork, yung design na to? Na ganyan. No? So, it is the theme, interpretation, or emotional resonance we take away from viewing it. Ayan. So, ito na yung, kumbaga, dito nalalabas yung sa emotional natin. If we feel comfortable, kung tayo ba ay nakakaramdam ng discomfort, mga ganyan. Okay? So, let's say for example, this one. We have here, example of visual art. Meron tayo ditong flower. So, if you're going to talk about the subject, syempre, lalagyan natin dyan, ang subject natin ay flowers. Kasi we have different flowers. Meron tayong mga flowers na malalaki, maliliit na flower. Ayan. Pag form naman, we are talking about the colors. Ayan, ang pangit na sulat. Colors. So ngayon, anong pinagkaiba ng content sa subject? So sabi kasi dito, di ba, content is not the same as the subject. No, katulad ng sinabi ko kanina, if you're going to look again dito sa picture na to, siya ang nakikita lang natin is just a simple flower. Pero kung titignan natin yung content, deeper meaning nitong picture na to, babalik natin diyan. May it be it can represent beauty. It can represent fragility, 'di ba? Ibig sabihin, 'di ba, ang flower kasi 'di ba, kapag pinitas mo siya, ibig sabihin nun, very fragile lang siya. Beauty naman ang pwede niyang i-represent. It's because, pag nakita tayo ng flower, syempre nagagandahan tayo. Di ba? O kaya fragrance, amoy. Di ba? We are talking about the smell. Ibig sabihin nun, it depende sa atin on how we're going to interpret the content. Kung ano yung pinaka-meaning nito sa atin. Okay, so that is the content. Sana ay naintindihan niyo. So always remember that content is not the same as the subject. So we should always look for the deeper meaning or yung pinaka-background nito. Ano kaya hindi lang tayo tumitingin sa kung ano yung nakikita natin, but we should always go beyond our thinking. We should always use yung tinatawag nating thinking beyond thinking. So that is actually metacognition. Ayan. So, that is content. Ayan. So, ano yung pwede nating question if we are going to evaluate an artwork using content? So, what message or emotion is the artwork trying to communicate? Ano ba yung pwede niya i-communicate sa'yo? Is the content profound, moving, or thought-provoking? Pag sinabi natin yung content ay profound, ibig sabihin, pagtingin pa lang natin sa picture, nararamdaman na natin siya, naintindihan na natin siya. Pag ito ba ay gumagalaw o katulad nung kay Edvard Munch, yung sa kanyang The Scream, di ba? Naka-scream yung subject niya doon. So, ibig sabihin, it interprets or it shows that the person is having anxiety, is having fear, na ganyan. And the last one, does the subject presented through the form effectively and clearly convey the content? So, nagamit ba yung subject and form? Ayan, napag-connecta ba ng artist yung subject and form para maipasa yung meaning ng artwork na yun? So, yan yung mga pwede nating possible questions if we are going to evaluate the content. Okay? So I hope na naintindihan ninyo. So let's practice. Example this one. We have here picture. Ayan, meron tayong picture dito. So if we're going to look at the picture, what would be the subject, the form, and the content? So ano nga ba yung magiging subject natin dyan? If you have time, you can answer habang pinapanood nyo itong video. Ayan. So subject, ang subject natin dito, a lone figure standing on a desolate shore. So ito yun. Ito yung subject natin dito. Ayan. So merong isang lalaki na nakatayo sa isang desolate shore. Ibig sabihin pag desolate shore, ibig sabihin wala siyang kasama. No? Pag desolate shore, yan yung kumbaga very quiet part of uh, very quiet part ng isang beach or ng isang dagat. Yan. So mag-isa lang siya. Yan yung subject natin. No? Bakit siya naging subject? Kasi it's nire-represent niya yung tinatawag nating tao, person. Diba? Ano yung form naman nito? Gumamit, parang nakita natin, di ba, we have different dark colors. Para siyang, naka-under siya ng tinatawag nating monochrome. Ayan. So, iisang kulay, pero gumamit siya ng different shading. So, black siya, pero nagiging gray. It's because of the shading. Ayan. So, muted colors, low horizon line. Ayan, low horizon line, ito yon, mababa. Ayan, low horizon. Ayan. Vast and empty space. So, di ba, kung makita ninyo, yung subject natin ay maliit lang, pero yung space niya, ayan, space niya ay napakalawak. And walang masyadong laman. Wala siyang masyadong ibang kasama kundi yung mga puno lang. And for the content, a powerful sense of isolation, despair, and loneliness. So, yan yung pwede niyang maging content. Pag tinignan natin yung picture, di ba, ang sad naman kasi parang mag-isa lang siya. Siya ay malungkot. Parang ina-isolate niya yung sarili niya. Siya ay despair. Ayan. Ayan. So, that is an example of how we're going to evaluate an artwork of in terms of subject, form, and content. Ayan, umuulan na. So, an example, yan. So, kita natin. So, inulit lang yan sa ating third. So, last one, when you reanalyze an artwork, you are looking for this perfect harmony. If the form, ayan, example, bright, cheerful colors contradicts the subject. If the subject is unclear, the artwork may lack organic unity. So, ibig sabihin, pag hindi magkatugma ang subject and form natin, walang mangyayari. So, hindi siya magkakaroon ng organic unity. Ibig sabihin, the artwork is not actually successful on um, on conveying the message kung ano yung gustong iparating ng um, artist or ng ating creator. So your goal is to articulate how well the artist has unified these three components to create a complete and cohesive whole. So katulad ng sinabi natin kanina, anorganic unity is actually the combination of subject, form, and content. So that ends the first part of our discussion. So evaluating the artwork using organic unity. Ayan. So for our next, bago kayo bigyan ng activity, of course, yan. Para sa next nating i-discuss, we have the application of the organic unity into the different art forms. Yan. So, application na tayo. So, let's continue our discussion on our next video lesson. So, i-end natin dito yung ating discussion. So, let's continue na lang para sa ating next na discussion. Ayan, wait lang.